So the very first step in any knitting project is casting on. Casting on is how you get your yarn on the knitting needle. And no matter which project you're starting, a complicated project or a simple project, you will have to cast on. And there's a lot of different ways to cast on, but the easiest way for me is the long tail cast on. So I will go ahead and show you how to do that. Okay, so to cast on you only need one needle to start. And basically you have two ends. You have what you call the ball end, which is the side that connects to the ball of yarn, and then you have the tail end, which is just the loose side. So you want the tail end to the left and the ball end to the right. The first thing you need to do is to make the slip knot, and you need to determine how much yarn you need to leave, because we're going to make a slip knot and then start knitting, and all this yarn will be used up and end up on the needle. So usually it's about 1/2 inch per stitch. So if your project or your pattern calls for you to cast on 15 stitches, you want about 7 inches of yarn to cast on. But what I usually do is I just leave a really long tail, because you can always cut that off. So after you've determined how long of a tail end to leave, you need to make a slip knot. Now it's important how you make this slip knot, because it makes casting on easier if you do it the right way. Basically what I do is I make a loop like this, with the tail end laying over the ball end. Alright, the tail end laying over the ball end. Then I let the loop fall toward me, so not like this, but let the loop fall toward you. And then you want to pull the ball end through. And then tighten. So you have this slip knot right now. And then for the cast on, you only need one needle. You put the needle through the slip knot. And then you pull the ball end to tighten it around the needle. So you have the slip knot around the needle with the tail end on the left and the ball end on the right. And now you can start casting on. So this is how you get your yarn on your knitting needle. Start the cast on. Basically what you do is you take the tail end on your left, and this is how I do it. I hold the yarn with these 4 fingers. Alright, and then I take my thumb and I wrap it around the yarn like this. And then what I do is I take the knitting needle and I put it in there like that. So the knitting needle and my thumb right here. I take these 2 fingers, I hold on to the knitting needle, and then I take the ball end with my right hand and wrap that around the needle like this. And then I'll go ahead and hold the knitting needle again with my right hand. And you take this loop and you just pull it over the knitting needle and you pull and tighten. So right now you have 2 stitches casted on, and I'm going to keep doing that until I have the number of stitches that I want cast on. So if your knitting pattern calls for you to cast on 10 stitches, then you just do this so you have 10 stitches on your needle. So I'm going to show you again what I do. Take the yarn, hold it with my 4 fingers, take my thumb, wrap it around, take the knitting needle, put it through, hold the knitting needle with my 2 fingers from my left hand, take the take the ball side of the yarn, wrap it around the knitting needle, hold the knitting needle with your right hand, take the loop and just pull it over, tighten, tighten, and there you go. You have 3 right now. So I'm just going to do it again. And I'm only going to make 5. Actually, I'll do 6. So this is 5. Right? tighten, 6. Just like that. With a little practice, it becomes very easy, and then you can do it really quickly. So see, now we have 6 stitches casted on. And that's it for the cast on.